rotting driftwood on the foreign shores, spilling out into the ocean floor, and the memories all you've left without a trace. Paralyzed with the thoughts receding, current sweeps you with the silent bleeding through the heart into the darkest place. Well, turn around, there's nothing to see here. Run away, no reason to be here. It's the ghost who never goes away. Turn around and leave this behind now. You see the ground as it bleeds in the sky now. You fight the sea, you're always gonna drown. All the secrets that you're holding, all the memories you hide, all the frail thoughts that echo in the corners of your mind, they won't even last a moment, they will soon be swept away when the ocean takes you in its arms and carries you away. You carry all your burdens on the cross around your neck. You take whatever's left that you could salvage from the wreck, and the hard past will follow you like a lost dog on the beach, nipping at your trail till you've drifted out of reach. Yeah, turn around, there's nothing to see here. Run away, no reason to be here. It's the ghost who never goes away. Turn around and leave this behind now. See the ground as it bleeds to the sky now. You fight the sea, you're always gonna drown. In a broken line horizon, in the castles made of sand, you tried to hold it in your hands, you tried to understand it. The ocean asks the questions, and it holds the answers too. It dissolves away the lies about the things you thought you knew.
Hey, Internet! Remember we started a little bit earlier this week because we love Critical Role, but my god, they took our time slot and ate everything. So we're trying a 7 o'clock time slot for our DM chats, because that seems to work out a little bit better for us. Or at least we're going to try and see how that works out. So, hi. I found the best thing on Kickstarter a couple months ago, and it's called The Deck of Silly Things. It's kind of fun, and I love it a lot. I also interact a lot with an important NPC on Twitter, he or they, I don't know if it's a gender, what their gender is, they run a shop called Duskwalker Imports and Exports, and they were doing this thing where every 100 followers or so they would release, an item from the store. And I asked about an item, and they said, oh, yes! I was like, what's this deck of silly things I found? And I didn't realize it was a thing at the time, but it was, and they listed out 20 cards in a series of tweets, and another gentleman by the name of BJ Hypes picked it up, or I guess maybe it's actually BJ, I have no idea, but BJ actually had this whole idea for the deck of silly things, and I absolutely love ridiculous and stupid and slightly useless D&D items. And this deck pretty much satisfies all of it. So one of the cards that you actually get is called a Card of Thanks. And the description of it is basically, BJ going through the entire Kickstarter thing. It's like, a 30-day campaign, we raised X amount of dollars to get me printed. And, shout out to the RD&D subreddit. And it gives you a legendary action, a Hug of Gratitude, which it says, when activating this ability, any ridiculous blacksmiths you encounter in the wild must save on a charisma saving throw of infinity, or hug the bearer of this card. Ridiculous blacksmith has immunity if they are sick or on fire. So, I fell in love with this idea, and I also loved interacting with an important NPC on Twitter, using one of my characters' stats for the day. I think I went on an adventure for them, and I picked up something in a market. And Twitter adventures like that are really fun, but they're distracting from the deck of silly things. So there is a print and play version of it, but because I have zero chill, I have all of these cards and no games to add them in right now, but I don't care because I'm going to find a use for them, and it's going to be fun. There's... Okay, actually I'm going to use this one. The Bucket of Fuck It. And they're fun, and I love them. There's the Ring of Finger Guns. I don't know if you guys can see that very well, or at all.
Not super, but...
Better?
No.
Nope? Okay, well, I tried. Putting the Ring of Finger Guns allows you to shoot one dart of magic missile from your fingers, dealing 1d4 plus 1 force damage to a creature within 120 feet. You can shoot a magic dart as either an action or a bonus action. The Ring of Finger Guns contains 3 charges for magic darts, and those charges are regenerated at midnight. This is the best part. You must make pew pew or similar gunshot noises for the Ring of Finger Guns to activate. It's freaking great, y'all. Absolutely amazing. I really want to be able to put the Ring of Finger Guns in a game that I'm running, because one of our players, bless her name's Becca, she, the best part about one of the sessions we had was she literally kicked open a door, she cartwheeled to kick open the door and wanted to, stick the landing and do aggressive finger guns. Well, she made her attack roll at the door for the cartwheel, and she succeeded. Then our DM made her roll a dex save to not faceplant. She faceplanted. So she cartwheeled into the room, faceplanted onto the floor, and just did aggressive finger guns from the floor. And that's been my running thing ever since. It's just aggressive finger guns from the floor, and no one else gets it other than this D&D group, and that's fine, and that's okay. There's one in here that's called the Seal of Approval, but I'm Tish. This little ceramic seal pup is enchanted to wriggle and flump around like the real deal, but behind its giant eyes is a keen intellect. Once per day, the Seal of Approval can give you advantage on an insight check if you ask the question aloud, and it can be answered with a yes or a no. To answer yes, the seal will arf, but to answer no, the seal will bork. It's the silliest thing. I love it. Further, the seal of approval can act as a sentry. When a creature other than those who you specified enter a room or an area within 20 feet, the seal of approval will bork loudly and clap its flippers. It will continue to do this until its owner rubs its head. The seal of approval can also be assigned to guard over a letter or small box. The seal of approval works in all locations, but becomes very uncomfortable around clubs. I'm gonna use these guys, I swear! Oh yeah, then there's the vampire bat. I was pointing this one out to Andy earlier. During the day, this appears to be an ordinary bat, but as the sun sets, a pair of long fangs protrude from the wood, adding a bonus 1d4 piercing damage on top of the vampire bat's usual 1d8 bludgeoning damage. In addition, while clutching the vampire bat at night, the holder can polymorph into a small bat for up to 1 hour once per evening. This version of the vampire bat has been updated so the user no longer develops a garlic allergy and can now be recognized by mirrors. Unfortunately, we are still troubleshooting why the user must succeed on a wisdom saving throw of 15 every night or be compelled to count out loud anytime they see 7 of the same object. We apologize for being unable to remove the accent at this time. I'm gonna use it, y'all, I swear! It's just silly and fun, and I absolutely love it. Oh god, the pants of parachute. Y'all are gonna go on a trip with me, because I freaking love this. The most triumphant piece of clothing lets you fall with style. The wearer of the pants of parachute may, while falling, pull the ripcord and release a parachute from its secure storage in the buttocks area. Upon pulling the ripcord, the parachute releases and slows the wearer's descent to 60 feet per round. When they land, the wearer takes no damage from falling. Once deployed, the wearer must spend 5 minutes stuffing the parachute back into its non-dimensional pouch located at the buttocks before the pants of parachute may be used again. The pants of parachute hold the weight of the wearer and any gear they held before falling, and an extra 200 pounds. Any additional weight will cause the pants to rip. If ripped, the pants still slow the fall one final time. However, all of those clinging onto the pants take 1d4 bludgeoning damage per 20 feet fallen, and every creature nearby can see the undercarriage of the wearer as they hang limply in the air. Upon landing, the pants are destroyed. No item other than the parachute may be packed into the non-dimensional buttocks pouch. If other items are packed, the pants of parachute will transport the items to the nearest open crevasse. However you pronounce that. Oh.
That's unfortunate.
Oh god, what else is in here? Oh, okay, here we go. The pods of casting. You have interesting things to say, and it doesn't seem like it's that hard. Why not start using a pod of casting? Eating one of the fast-growing seeds from the pod allows you to make your voice appear in the minds of every creature within 1,000 feet for 1 hour. Well, most of an hour. Halfway through, there's usually a minute-long advertisement for indigo aprons and inexpensive razors shipped from another plane of existence. After using a pod of casting, you must wait a week before using it again. After all, you don't want to flood the market. It's definitely not because this is a much larger time commitment than you first thought. When you are finished using the pod of casting, you will hear what every creature you forced to listen to you say aloud for the next minute. Surely they'll have nothing but positive things to say. This is absolutely hilarious. I freaking love this. There's the bob of apples, which is basically a haircut. The pumpkin of headlicity. Oh god, the ring of vigor. The wand of Gallagher. If you guys don't know who Gallagher is, he was a comedian. He would stand up on stage and smash watermelons. So the wand of Gallagher is a mallet. We're going to read this one aloud because it's fun. The bearer of this wand harnesses a tremendous amount of power, all of which is funneled into the hatred for gourds, including but not limited to watermelons, pumpkins, cantaloupes, honeydews, and squash. Flicking this wand at a gourd will cause it to explode. Once per day, this wand can either 1. Destroy a single gourd up to 3 times, or 2. Destroy all the gourds in a 5 foot by 5 foot cube 1 time. The target gourd or gourds must be mostly visible within 45 feet. Sentient gourds must succeed on a wisdom saving throw of 13 or take 2d8 face explosion damage. Damn, Carol, we needed this when we ran your one-shot of the Pumpkin King.
I know, I was just thinking that. That would have been very handy.
Legendary action, Gallaghers Wrath. Target a single gourd within 45 feet and that gourd explodes. At the same time, every gourd within 10 feet of that gourd explodes. The chain continues until there are no more gourds within 10 feet of any other gourds. After using this legendary action, the wand shatters. Depending on the amount of gourds obliterated, Gallagher's spirit may appear before you and offer thanks or spite. We really needed that, because that would have been fantastic. All right, we're going to go into this.
The Pumpkin King. Boom! You explode.
You take face explosion damage. Ah, yes, the armor of plot. Fall off a cliff, submerge in lava, find yourself between a mama owlbear and her cub. Not to worry, since you're protected by the armor of plot. When a player death is about to happen, the armor of plot activates to reshape the events that just happened so the player did not die, most often by means of gifting the player a magical item. For instance, if they're about to fall to their death, they might suddenly have the pants of parachute or a wand of feather fall in their possession so that they float safely to the ground. But how the player obtained what they needed is determined by fate. When the armor of plot is activated, the game master rolls a d20 to determine how much of a hindrance this item causes. Let's say a player needed a flask in their front pocket to stop an arrow from piercing their heart, and a natural 20 is the best outcome they may have received the flask as a thank you from being a town protector. But a natural 1, they stole the flask from a demon overlord, and now there's a bounty so high that every assassin in the kingdom wants them dead. The GM rolls this number out of sight. 1 use per player.
I like that card.
Anyways, I chucked my character off a cliff, not with your armor of plot. Fuck! Oh, here's a good one for you, Andy. The Book of Plot Twists. Plot twist, we seduce the overlord. No, yes.
What does that one do?
The Book of Plot Twist was built by the Knight of M. Shyamalan and may be used once a day to drastically alter the behavior of a susceptible creature. You must know this creature's name and you must be able to see them. As an action, you can use the Book of Plot Twists and write what is happening, followed by, but suddenly, and your plot twist. The target then must succeed at a wisdom saving throw of 15 or be compelled to follow through with the twist as an action for their next turn. On a failed saving throw, the sentence remains and the Book of Plot Twists cannot be used for another day. On a successful throw, the sentence disappears and the holder of the Book of Plot Twists can try again in 1 hour rather than waiting a full day. The target cannot be compelled to take an action that would directly lead to their death or serious injury. It is impossible to rip out or destroy the infinite pages, so reading through this tome may yield some interesting pieces of history. The Book of Plot Twists does not like run-on sentences. Oh, here's a good one for Brian. It's Lawyer in a Can. You destroyed your Book of Faces, you've hit the gym, and now it's time to lawyer up. It's a joke on Reddit where they say delete Facebook, hit the gym, and hire a lawyer. In response to, any, minor inconvenience. Oh man, I stubbed my toe. Well, delete Facebook, hit the gym, and hire a lawyer. Cracking open the Lawyer in a Can opens a portal to the dimension Squiggly Boggles, which holds the most serious and efficient lawyers in the multiverse. Moments later, a well-dressed humanoid lawyer steps through and is at your service for 5 minutes. That lawyer has a +10 on persuasion checks and will negotiate on your behalf. The lawyer speaks all languages and specializes in bartering both for resources and for your life when you accidentally trip over an ancient dragon. Please note that the Lawyer in a Can does not actually emerge from the can. It is simply a safe method of portaling, and your money will not be refunded because you, quote, wanted a teeny tiny can-sized lawyer, unquote. As the Lawyer in a Can disappears, it slips you its business card with a private incantation line. While you possess the incantation, you can summon them forth for further negotiations. At 1,000 gold a minute. Please recycle the can after use. Oh, somebody's calling me from Canada that I don't care about. The funny bone, the pen of vapor, the comb of beardmancy, the cookie of fortune. Alright, I'm curious about this cookie of fortune. A scrap of paper pokes from the cookie of fortune. As a bonus action, you may remove the paper and it will reveal what an enemy of your choosing plans to do on their next turn. Once removed, it will take a day for the paper to reappear in bed. If you pull the paper while no enemies are around, the cookie of fortune will predict something that will happen to you in the next day. Please note that the fortunes are occasionally incorrect and you don't need to contact customer service every time a spouse learns that they will soon meet the love of their life. In bed. But it is not the only use for the cookie of fortune. If you break it open, your timeline retracts 6 seconds. Whatever actions you took up to 1 turn ago may be redone with your new knowledge. You may re-roll any dice for this turn and pick which roll you'd like to use. In bed. The cookie of fortune is permanently destroyed once it's opened. All that remains after the cookie crumbles is a single fortune. You should have tried the salad bar. In bed. My favorite is when you're reading a fortune cookie is to add in your pants after it as well. That's my other favorite. In bed and in your pants. Putty of might. Pendant of papermancy. Blanket of fortitude. The helm of thoughts and prayers. Here we go. While wearing this helmet lets everyone know you're empathetic and you can always be counted on to let people know that. To activate, touch one hand to your helm and point at the other creature within 10 feet. You then whisper, thoughts and prayers, and the creature must make a wisdom saving throw of 5 or they perceive you to be good aligned. You also gain the following bonuses. +0 to your strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, armor class, speed, initiative, temporary hit points, and proficiency.
Nice.
God. Boots are made for a walk-in, the clip of annoyance, the basket of endless breadsticks. Alright, we're going to read that one aloud since you giggled. The white cloth of this basket hides an immense treasure, unlimited sticks of bread. While they are a simple flavor, the breadsticks are hot and fresh when removed from the baskets. 4 + 1d4 breadsticks may appear at a time. For more breadsticks, politely ask the basket and they should appear in the next few minutes. Being snippy or impatient with the basket may result in longer wait times or burnt breadsticks. Breadsticks not eaten within an hour of being removed from the basket will disappear. An attempt to raise the white cloth and stare directly into the planar abyss will cause 1d8 psychic damage as your mind corrodes with the sound of agony and torment. Breadsticks are guaranteed to be made fresh from free-range organic nightmares. If your basket of endless breadsticks breaks, please contact customer service located in the realm of gluten. Okay, here we go. It's the Wand of Damnit. Mass-produced, the Wand of Damnit standing for Distractions and Minorly Inconvenient Thoughts, was crafted by an assembly line of underpaid alcoholic wizards. A target within 60 feet must succeed on a wisdom saving throw of 15 or become under the influence of the Wand of Damnit for 1 minute. While under the effects of this wand, the target has disadvantage on all perception, investigation, and insight checks. This wand contains 8 charges, and each can be used 1 time. Roll a d8 to determine which of the following happens. Reroll if repeated. 1. The target believes a piece of food is stuck in their teeth. 2. The target gets a song stuck in their head. 3. The target remembers something they did in middle school and tries to block it out.
Oh no.
4. The target becomes fixated on a word of the user's choice and repeats it in their mind over and over. 5. The target suddenly feels immensely intoxicated. 6. Math. That's literally the only sentence. 7. The target becomes aroused for seemingly no reason. 8. They develop antidiophobia, which and they believe they are constantly being watched by a duck. I don't know if that's how you actually pronounce that word, but here we are. Once all 8 charges are used, the wand falls limp and disintegrates, but it swears this will never happen. So, I freaking love this deck, y'all. I absolutely 100% love the deck of silly things. Like, I'm really glad that I did back this on Kickstarter, and I did get the physical copy. I like the size of the cards. They are a very hefty size. They also did come in a very lovely box. And the next one shot that we have, if I'm DMing it, which I really want to do, but schedules and time and other things won't allow for it right now. I will definitely be using the deck of silly things. Again, I absolutely love this thing because it's so ridiculous and so much fun. I really feel like if you're gonna run a D&D game, you should at least throw in like 1 or 2 ridiculously silly items, and don't try not to make it as serious all the time. Like Andy and Turricell, if you haven't watched a couple of the previous episodes, we got a sock, and it's pretty amazing because basically we boil the sock, and once a day we can, for about an hour in water, and we can get a health potion out of it. We've determined that the health potion will taste like foot. However, if we boil it too long, it will taste like ass, which you don't want. You want it to taste like foot. So, yeah, this has been kind of short, I know, but... Oh, hey! Actually, it's almost 7:30. Wow, I'm shocked. Do we have any comments in the, No? It's fine.
Plenty of comments, just no questions.
That's fine. That is completely...
Carolyn and I have been having a great time.
I'm glad you guys have been having a great time, because that's usually what happens when one of us is in here. We all just have a grand old time just chatting back and forth with each other.
In the same room.
Like we always do.
We're not even in a different space.
It's fine. I suppose I will wrap it up here. But again, you can find the deck of silly things if you check out, I believe it's bjhypes.com. And you can get the free print and play version, but I would honestly tell you to spend the money and get the physical version. 1, because I think BJ did a really good job on this, and 2, I like physical things. So the deck of silly things in physical form is, I think, a lot better. So, schedule for this week. We have Tales from Cyril, this coming up Saturday, starting at 1 p.m., 1:30 p.m. We're a little bit off this week because of reasons. And then next week we'll be back with DM Chats with Andy. Do you have your topic yet? Topic to be determined. And then we might have an insight check next Saturday, ? We don't know yet. Nope, we will not have an insight check.
Zendikar next Saturday.
Oh, that's right, we do have Zendikar. Zendikar's our off-camera stream, so you guys, or off-camera D&D game, so you guys don't get to see that one. But we will be back next Sunday with River of Turricell. So
maybe be less ridiculous.
Damn! Love ridiculous things. So, repeating the schedule. Saturday, starting at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we have Tales from Cyril. Next Wednesday, we'll be back here at 7 with DM Chats with Andy. And then the Sunday after, we will have our River of Turricell game. So, it's been fun. I honestly can't wait to see you guys in the future. So,